Hello, friends. I'm Kevin Pilot, and thank you for watching this episode of The Kevin Pilot Show on YouTube today.
And yes, this episode will also be available on iStart as well. Now, from now on, my show will have two cameras. One facing towards me, which is obviously going to be the webcam, and the other is going to be my smartphone cam, where you can see me on a different angle, which I think you're going to like watching the most. It's going to take a little time to get used to, but I think you're going to love it. Now, today's show is about a very good friend of mine who many of you have known as DJ Schlitter Close of iStart. I'll have him as a guest on the show to talk about his mixer. He finally got the power cord for it so that he can use it if he needs to and whatnot. So that's going to be very important. That's going to coming up a little bit later today. Now, I also want to talk about an Abilene man who was scammed as a result of a prize scam, if you will. It's kind of like a lottery prize, but that wasn't necessarily the case. You see, what happened was he had gotten a call stating that he won, but they told him he needed to FedEx $4,000 for the processing fee, and that's not the way it works. I don't know what that was about, but that's what happened to him. You know, he for some reason lost $4,000 as a result of this scam.
And it was just a scam that I guess he might not have heard about before, but should have, or something like that. I don't know. But always know this. If you win a prize, you shouldn't have to pay for it. That's just not the way it works. You know, that's just terrible that he had to go through all that. And I hate to think that he apparently didn't know what was going on at that time. So, anyways. And when we come back,
Shawn Hardesty is my guest. Stay with us. And welcome back to the Kevin Pilot Show. Now, I want to take a moment to show you the mixer that Shawn has had for some time. He recently got a power supply, and it still needs a little bit more work, but the one thing that I want to point out is he can actually hear music from his phone in the mixer. That's one of the features I've never seen before. And if you ever go to KGNZ and you know how Dustin airs his vinyl records, well, this is similar to that. So let's talk with Shawn and find out, how were you able to get the power supply?
I was able to get the power supply off of eBay, and it took a while for me and the seller to get something going, but once we did, he was able to ship it. It left out shortly after May the 6th and came here today, so I was very happy from it. Especially because it gives me a chance to see how everything works on it, see what needs to be redone and what doesn't need to be redone. Like, the aux sends basically needs to be redone, as you can tell from there. Very loose. When I turn it should be just snug on either side. Instead, some of these are loose. Like, oh wow. And then of course I can mute each channel. If I want to mute the guest.
Yes.
This thing can do anything underneath the sun and then some.
Yeah.
Like if I want to have 4 people in here, I got 4 microphone slots that I could have.
Mm-hmm.
And we all could do a radio show at once through this mixer.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the same mixer like you would see at KGZ, but...
No, of course not. And Dustin talked about that on my show as well.
Yeah.
He said it was a lot bigger than that. And he even talked about the mixer himself. And speaking of Dustin, if you were watching his Facebook Live show, you were able to hear private conversations between the people in the studio. That has since been fixed. He just forgot to insert a part before he began the show, and for that we apologize for that. But he has since taken care of that. But anyways, you allowed me to hear music through the headphones.
Yeah.
And you used your phone to connect the audio from your phone into the mixer. And
yeah, so basically I have this little iPhone deal right here. And I got this line-in jack right here.
Mm-hmm.
It just plugs right into this little baby right here. And I plug it right into there. Of course, that ain't the only place I can plug it into if I don't want to. I could also plug it right in there. Can plug it right in there.
Basically, any socket that'll work.
Just any socket that will play music through it, I can do it.
Yes.
Of course, it has a phantom switch in the back. Right there, when I switch the phantom switch on, it gives it more power to work with. Like if I'm running a PA sound system, I could use all the 48 volts of it. If I didn't want to run the phantom, I could shut the phantom switch off and just run it regularly. But
and I understand it needs more revamping, and you want to try to figure out a way to get it to work on iStop radio.
oh yeah,
So that
I
way,
could get some connections to be able to get this thing to work on the radio station. Like I had a microphone, plug into the microphone slot, got to get a lot of the hookups for the computer, order for the computer to read it. And once I do, it'll be up and running on my radio station.
yes, and it'll allow the music to be played professionally on a radio station. So it's kind of like going to KG&Z without doing so.
Yeah. And another thing is that I was talking to you about earlier, these little deals. People can plug in headsets for these and listen to what's coming through the mixer onto this board here. And they'll hear the same thing that I'm hearing through this, which is through these.
Oh, wow.
So,
Because you have it hooked up on the back side of it.
yeah.
So, for example, if I brought a headset, I could just plug it in and be able to hear it also.
Yeah.
And you did mention the 4 microphone ports. Like, for example, let's say you have 4 people. How are you going to be able to plug in their microphones? Like, what kind of input would it need?
It would need one of these XLR inputs.
The XLR?
Yeah, those 3-prong inputs. Plug into a regular microphone, kind of like this thing right here. Plug it right into the board and crank up the little mic volume right there.
Yeah, when I was last here, you were telling me that you were able to get the music heard on the speakers through this thing that you have hooked up to the headphone part of the microphone.
That is from a program called Voice Meter Banana.
Yes.
And basically, I have this right here, as you see the microphone headset right there. Got the speaker plugged into it. And when I have Voice Meter Banana popped open, which I do right now, but I don't have anything playing because my headset's off the computer. But I'm able to get music through that. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that to y'all. Unplug from my mixing board here. Plug right back into that. Now I gotta close up this, reopen that, and anything that plays through there, not only can I hear it through my music, but we're gonna do a Rocky New Year's Eve one.
Hello, I'm Kevin Pilot, host of the Kevin Pilot Show. And you're listening to the New Year's Eve party.
Wave 3 is to get the speakers
on iStop Radio.
on desktop like that. But that is, of course, I wanted to do a short version of that little song there because, yeah.
Yeah. Most people knew that I did a New Year's Eve thing at one point.
Yeah, for the record, we do not own any copyrights to the music that plays on this channel right here, so just thought I'd let y'all know that ahead of time.
It's good that Shawn pointed it out. And for those of you who missed out on Dustin's first day as a guest, he talked about the fact that there are no FCC regulations. You really can play whatever you want as long as people will listen to it. And we did have a New Year's promo that you played by example for those who wanted to understand how it worked. So I think that actually made sense in a way.
Oh, yeah.
So, Voice Meter Banana is how you're able to get on ice.radio. And, I mean, now I'm going to get my phone closer to the Voice Meter Banana part. And what I want you to do is show them the difference between being on air and not being on air using the inputs.
Oh, all right. So the difference between being on air here, let me go ahead and mute my Voice Meter Banana so I can pull up my radio DJ here. Using these inputs, like let's say if I want to play a song, which I'm going to play my radio intro instead. Let's see where my radio intro is. I tend to lose them at times, folks, so bear with me here. Here's one of my radio info.
Start Radio, today's best country, broadcasting online.
Now, if I want to get a Skype caller on here. Oh, wow. Feedback. Anyways, if I want to get a Skype caller on air there, all I got to do is select the A1 input, which is already selected. Go to my Skype, do a little test call here. Yes, we test call on ice.radio as well. So, go ahead and hit that test call. Hit B1. And it plays back through Voice Meter Banana.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's how people can talk back to you if they want to. And when you go off air, all you got to do, mention the song that you want to play. And after you mention the song that you want to play, so let's say if I'm playing Big and Rich, I can be like, here's Big and Rich, and then go back into the song after I unmute that. So that's how I usually do it here at ice.radio. The way I like to say it, if some of you are familiar with Voice Meter Banana, picture it like a virtual mixer. You got your inputs all the way up here, inputs all the way over here, kind of like a virtual mixer. My microphone's right there, radio DJ volume is right here. That, I wouldn't worry about that. That's if I want to plug in a headset microphone. If I want to put my camera microphone right there, I can plug my camera microphone right there, and people could actually talk that way. So that's basically what that VB audio input is. And then if I want, I can play music through my desktop, like random song here.
You can even play that on ice.radio without having to use the...
All I gotta do is hit B1 input and they'll be able to hear anything that comes on here. So if I want to play this Christmas song here, they'll be able to hear it through Radio DJ. As long as I got that selected, they're good.
Wow.
Yeah. So, hello.
Yeah.
But, anyways, this is one of my favorite little inputs here. Whoop. Go back to my regular input. Okay. There we go.
Your main input is always going to be how you hear your
main
computer.
input, like, let's say if I want my microphone right there to play through that, I can play it through that. That's my USB microphone. If I want my webcam microphone to play through the input 3, I can put my microphone from the webcam right there, and people will be able to talk that way. So.
And when we return, Shawn Hardesty has more to say about Voice Meter Banana. Stay with us.
This is my voice disguised in high. Or if I wanted to, I could echo it like this. Oh wow, feedback. But, yeah. This is my favorite one of all times. It makes me sound like I'm in the principal's office. Would Kevin Pylan please come to the principal's office? Please come to the principal's office.
Sounds like a PA board.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Modulation. Wow.
Yeah, that's...
Oh. Back. Forward. Woohoo.
Now that is an amazing demonstration. Now I want to thank Shawn for being a guest on my show, and that's going to be the end of the show. I'm Kevin Pond. Thank you for watching.